Hello, and welcome to Andrew Broussard Watercolors. Today, we're going to do a fast and loose watercolor landscape painting. We're going to be using a quarter sheet of Stonehenge paper. This is 90 pound, slightly toned. And we have Cotman Lamp Black, which is PBK 6. The purpose of this is to kind of start a little experimentation with some lamp black, because I'm going to do one with some of the lunar black sometime soon. The other part is to kind of prepare and see how it would be with just white and black. I'm going to use the white gouache near the end to put some snow over the scene. All right, so I'm going to create an imaginary landscape, painting wet and wet. And I always reference the modern tonalist masters that paint in oils, and they're kind of using a fast and loose back and forth with the oils. Those would be Stuart Davies, Dennis Sheehan. The watercolor handles very similarly whenever we're working with this. However, one thing we have to really watch out for, especially with working with black, is a tonal shift. As we put this in, I got cat hair all over this painting already. As we put this in, and as it dries, it's going to soften and kind of lighten. The black pigments really have a knack for that, so kind of want to be prepared and watch out for that. Let's build up. So look how dark it is now, and we really want to watch and see what takes place and what happens after that. A part of my brush is putting in this kind of lovely gray. Let's see if I can get some gray washes up in here. Really dark right off the bat. So what I'm going to probably do is take a paper towel and go back and forth. You can see those splotches right there. I must have been holding the paper there and tearing it. That's kind of what happens whenever you have oils on your hands, or if you have lotion or product or anything like that. So, and that's natural oils or, like I said, hair products. So you want to be aware that that happens. I'm going to kind of go for more of a graphite charcoal type effect. And you'll see I'm just lifting up and pulling moisture out, getting that feel in the sky. Like that. So for me, I grew up in New York. I live down in Louisiana. We really don't have snow down here, obviously. And growing up with snow, we were on Long Island, so it's kind of that sleet, slushy snow that would happen. And sometimes there'd be the beautiful crunchy snow. But just in my mind, there's kind of a dreariness to it. And as I try to create the scene, let's see what we can do. Let's kind of a line of just this dark over. Not quite sure what I want it to be, but just more compositionally putting a shape in. And seeing if my mind's eye can kind of read it as something else. Add to the darks of these bottom back trees. When I pull out that cat hair at the end, it'll actually look kind of cool. It'll leave a little bit of a mark, kind of like the way salt will. Let's go up here. You know what we can do? We can scrape this as though it's a brick fence, brick fence, sorry. It's just a kind of a lazy day today. It's a Saturday. It's been a long work week. So let's just move a little bit of that around. Just using a simple cut up card. If I scrape here, this is going to backfill. I just know it. So I think I want to see if I want to play with the number 1 at all. And just push a little bit of ideas and movement back here. The brush feels like it was not washed. It's fine. Putting in some vertical marks for background trees. Some branches and foliage. Kind of just grabbing some of this pigment and moving it around. You can even do some overgrowth that's coming up over here. I'm liking just this gestural marks that are taking place. Kind of a different approach, definitely more expressive. I'm thinking that I want to pause this. I want to hit it with a blow dryer, but I'm not going to try to dry completely because I want to get a scrape in here, a few just marks, but I don't want them to backfill. So let me pause. I'm going to hit it with the blow dryer and you'll see the change that takes place. All right, so hit it with the blow dryer. You can see right here where the cat hair got blown away. It left a really cool shape and mark, as here as well. And brush hairs will do that. I scraped a little bit while hitting it with the blow dryer. We did get some of the backfills, and we didn't get back to the white of the paper. And I pushed some of the pigment along with the blow dryer, and I kind of dabbed at it and pulled out some with the paper towel. So overall, quite a value shift where it softened quite a bit. But let's go back into this and see what we can do. Using that softness as a foundation, then creating on top of it. Pushing, wiping, and swiping and lifting with our paper towel. So just dabbing in, looking for shapes, seeing what I want to build upon, creating another layer in front of that softer background horizon. Here's where you get that long fence mark. I keep on calling it a fence, brick wall. Let's bring that across. Some tufts of growth. And we can take the number 1 rigger. You can work very similar to before, building up some aspects of the trees. And this pulls some of these shapes together. Just a dreary, foggy, snowy effect. All right. Just a little bit of movement here. Let's see. This is our wall. We put a more blocky shape into some spots of it. Let's see how we want to do that. For the kind of tufts and pieces coming up. Little bits. Okay, I'm going to pause. I'm going to do another dry off so we can see what it looks like after that second layer was put on. All right, so it is relatively dry. We can see how it stands out a little bit more. It has kind of an overall just snowy, dreary day to it, but I really wanted to explore some splattering with the white gouache on top of it. So this is Da Vinci brand gouache, and I mixed it with a little bit of water. We're just going to splatter it around. That classic snowy effect. So I just hold one brush as a cross piece, and with a mixture of water and the paint, we'll get some splatters. You're gonna have to play around with the quantity of water in the mixture and see what different brushes you prefer. If you ever want to leave an area bare of splatter, you could just sit a piece of paper over that spot. Just use stencils essentially. Water. I also always mix gouache in a different container because it has a chalkiness to it that kind of contaminates the rest of my palette. Okay, let's pause for a dry off and see how that looks. All right, so I'm gonna grab just a number. This is just another rigger. I think so. I think it is. Oh no, a round. And I'm gonna grab some of this black and let's put. So this is gonna reference Frankie Clark. He passed away, unfortunately, within the past year. There was rumors of his passing, then contacted his people and they said that he had not, and then he wound up passing after that. And we were going to try to interview him or talk to him because he had a I think, a public broadcasting painting channel in Ireland or the UK, and he painted fast and loose, and he would describe painting people as carrots, where you could take, let's start with this person a little bit lower, and we just draw a carrot in, and that's enough for a fast and loose person. Somebody a little poofy hat. There we go. I did want to experiment a little bit with taking white gouache on a brush. A little contaminated from the black, but that'll be okay. And let's just put a little bit on top, just so you can see how that looks versus the splattering and the white of the paper. So I like the second layer of the black and how that sat and really pushed forward. The first layer really softened and worked really well. So one thing I wanted to point out is looking at it through the camera, through my phone that's filming, it gives me a sense of distance from it and lets me see it a little bit differently. And I'm quite pleased the way it's coming out. The white of the hand. Let's see how that looks through it. Gives a little extra something to it. Don't know if it's quite necessary, but this is honestly just kind of a way to show how to model people very easily, and just how that white looks when painted with a brush. Then from there I can grab some more of the black so we can see how one last application might pop out in certain spots. But it really never ceases to amaze me what's possible with an extremely limited, tight palette. Here we have, once again, lamp black and some white gouache, and we have full range. We have a great expressive feel, and we don't have to worry about color. It does change how the white right there, having the people look at each other as opposed to looking away from one another or looking out over the scene. So simple things like that can kind of tell a little bit of a story. Maybe something about dreariness, but they have each other and they're spending time together. Something as simple as that, by adding that little bit of white. I'm going to splatter some bigger droplets. And then we'll do our last dry off and we'll sign it. All right, and there we have it. I'm just going to sign it, and as usual, you are always welcome to follow along and sign your own name to whatever you follow along with. And you have my express permission to sell anything you do whenever you follow along. I want you guys to have fun and to have money for art supplies. If you want to support this channel, please like, subscribe, follow. And I have the link down below for Etsy and the Patreon. And thank you to everybody who supports this channel through the Patreon. All right, without y'all, I wouldn't be able to buy all these different materials and experiment and then film these videos. On that note, you'll have a great day, and I'll be back soon.